我当然认识了啊！我又不是没有钱，当然是找最好的了。看我这个发根紧，多有层次，不是盖的。你少来了，头发都把眼睛遮住了，你不觉得辛苦啊？干什么？对呀，怎么这样？
Andres, what?
Yo, man, let's get back to what's out there. Yo, let's check this out. Yo! What are you saying? What are you saying? What the f***, man? Screw this guy, bro. Who the hell's
Jaffer, man? Hold on, I'm getting a vibration.
God, man, this guy's taking forever. We've been standing here for 2 hours. We're cold, we're freezing.
Hold on, he's sending a snap, he's sending a snap.
Where the hell's Jaffer, man? We gotta call this video.
Man?
We gotta win.
Yo.
This is your friend. This is literally your friend.
This is our friend.
No, this is your friend.
This is our friend.
Because of him, we're waiting right now.
I'm cold. I'm sick. Where's
Jaffer? Oh my God, this guy's forever.
Come on, man. I'm cold. Where's this man? You gotta have a great excuse for
Welcome, guys, to the first episode of What Are You Saying with Osama Hantash and Mohammed Al Hassan and Ali Jaffer Razvi. Did you really have to do that weird?
I'm sorry.
Handshake?
It's
just, oh my God. All right, whatever. I get annoyed easily with this guy. I don't know about this guy. This guy's really silent because it's really cold outside today. He's really.
Don't touch me!
Many months later.
Jaffer, what do you think? How are you feeling?
Yes.
How was your Uber driver?
Uber Jabba?
Uber Jabba.
Who's the hottest Uber driver you've ever had?
I never went to Uber Jabba.
Uber Jabba?
Several months later.
Okay, yo, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Yo.
What? What do you want?
Yo, I'm busy. Well, we have to start going. We have to start filming. What are you guys doing right now?
Let's go. What do you want to talk about?
What's so important?
Let's talk about social media then. Since you guys are so focused on talking about texting and stuff like that.
I'm sorry.
When we were supposed to be doing a video. What are you saying? What are you saying?
What are you
saying?
What did he say?
What are you saying?
What are you saying?
That was supposed to be the intro, but these guys like to text, so we're gonna go straight into the topic. Boom. Let's go. Social media.
Social media?
Yeah.
Social media.
Well, what do you think is wrong with what you just did, huh? Just texting and not paying attention to the present moment.
You know what? That's a good question.
What do you think is wrong? What do you think is wrong?
Can you calm down first? There's weird animations.
Weird animations, dog.
There's nothing wrong, alright?
Jaffer asked, like all jokes aside, Jaffer asked a great question. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong? I want to see what did we do wrong.
You guys were. I was trying to make you guys like pay attention to what we're supposed to be doing at hand, and you were texting and not avoiding and just avoiding the entire.
Welcome to Notes from the Editor's Desk. My name is Andreas Korfman, the editor, and notes from the editor's desk brought to you by the editor's desk, videos within videos, and buttons that sound awesome. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, so I'm going to be cutting out every once in a while. Yeah, there were some audio issues. I can tell the comments are coming. There were people talking in the background, but don't worry. My boy Osama, he's got you covered. Him and his beef things, he'll figure it out. Enjoy the video.
So do you feel this is a problem that we have in this generation society?
100%. Everyone is that. Facebook, social media, everything on that type of, everything that's created nowadays on phones and stuff like that is just for grabbing your attention. Like, people just go on Facebook and they just watch like cat videos or things. Like, my friend the other day was like, why am I watching this video? I still want to watch it though. Perfect example.
You know, actually, we have a great example. Sometimes you're watching stuff and you're like, you think like subconsciously, it's like, why am I watching this video, right? And then you go to the next video, and the next video,
Exactly.
You keep going, and then you realize
you can't stop yourself.
You wasted 3 hours, right?
Like, yo, what am I doing with my life right now?
Well, the funny thing is, back to the texting thing, it's like, we were texting at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
And we weren't paying attention to anything we were saying.
Because
we were, but the thing is, what we're texting right now is more important than what you're saying. So at the same time, I can see how you do it disrespectful, but it's something that everyone's doing, so it can't be my fault. It's not Osama's fault. We're just showing other ways.
So that's how you justify it?
That's how you justify it. I'm part of this generation.
Mo brings up a great example, right? Like, we are texting right now, so we now indulge ourselves in like a conversation that we have, right? Now, what the viewers have to also understand is sometimes this skit that we did for them is to see that this is what's actually happening right now, like
everywhere.
Notice it's actually disrespectful that you were speaking and me were texting. It shows us that we don't care about whatever you were saying.
YouTube for dummies. Tip number 1. Make sure there's no one else in your location while shooting your video. You already know.
Yeah. You could have said something important, but we weren't listening to.
And how many times if you go with your friends, if you go to a club or a restaurant, you say restaurant, you see people on a first date, and the guy is just talking to her and all this stuff, whatever, and she's like,
and then they both pull out their phone.
And everyone's like, they're texting under the table and stuff. It's like, the interaction between the two is not getting accomplished because you rather serve your phone under a table than talk to a person and get to know them for the first time.
You know the beautiful part is, like, we were just talking about going to, like, say, like, when you go outside, right, notice no one's really on their phone. We're engaging in conversation, we're having that great conversation. When you're putting out your phone, whether it's a date, with your friends.
You know who it is. YouTube for dummies. Tip 2. Make sure they stay quiet after letting them know the first time. Yeah.
You're basically, if you're texting someone who's not there, you're basically showing your friends like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, you don't care.
That's basically the subliminal message you're sending.
Yeah.
I do not want to be here. Something else is running around my phone. It's okay to do that typical Snapchat where like we're all like, I just want to take a picture of our like Snapchat or food. Great times, but when you're always on your phone, you're losing out of moments in reality that are happening that you can look back to and say, yo, that like this actually happened, right? But when you go through your phone, yeah, it's funny, but just like you know what's there.
And most kids today, like people who are younger than us, like who are still in high school, they don't have the self-awareness to know what type of impact it's having on them, and they don't think about what they're doing. In technology, like, and it becomes a part of you, that's a good and a bad thing. But what people are doing nowadays is that they're, you know, people who create content online, they're creating just random crap. Like, it's just bullshit. There's no substance to them, right? And it's just all for attention grabbing.
Well, the question is, how long can we go without social media? Because 3 months prior to this, I had an iPhone 5 for almost 4 years. And with this iPhone 5,
I miss you so much. Oh, I miss you. Feeling you in my hands, day and night. Oh, iPhone 5, iPhone 5, iPhone 5.
Security is like, okay, see, like, take my, scan my eyes, my breath, okay, well, I'm gonna get that technology.
Yeah, it's either you're controlling yourself or you're controlled by yourself. So for me having an iPhone 5, it's like, I don't need a new phone because If I want to talk to someone, I will talk to you when I need to get to you. Like,
absolutely.
Opposed to that, I don't have to waste every second searching for something, craving for something that's never gonna happen. I don't have to wait for the next story to come when it's gonna come maybe in the next 2 hours. Why do I have to be on my phone every single second when I can be doing something that's gonna impact me and do something way better in terms of productiveness and opportunity?
Mo, you just brought up an amazing point. What did you just say? Like, why do I have to, like, you're either controlling yourself or something is controlling you? What were you?
It's either you control yourself or you're controlled by yourself.
And how prevalent and relevant do you think that is, especially in today's society?
It is very scary because everyone's being controlled by their own egos and no one's actually controlling their own mind, their destiny, and their opportunity.
But what about environment and other external influences? Like, how many things are controlling people nowadays?
Oh yeah, politics, media, governments. But the point is, there's ways to, everything's an illusion.
Yeah.
So therefore you can see through it. But when the biggest enemy is your phone and it's presented as an angel, you don't realize that you're actually being used by the devil 24/7.
And you just access all
and it accesses all your information at all times. You think you're safe creating a cloud that's only meant for you and your 5 friends, but trust me, something happens, of course, that all that information stored for months, all the videos, photos, text messages, everything, it's exposed. Not only to locally, but globally around the whole world. So don't think that social media
goes down the drain.
Don't think that social media is something that you can keep on to yourself. You never know who's watching at any given moment.
I agree with that. And I just want to say 2 examples. First example was...
Put your hand down, though. I high five you.
I'd like to say celebrities aren't actually responsible for what they do for us, and I'll tell you why. Because they already have their own kids. They're already responsible for what their actions, right? There's certain celebrities that obviously mess up on social media. They take backlash. I took my responsibility of deleting my Twitter account completely because I said, I know I tweeted some dumb stuff in the past, and I don't want that to follow me back, right? And I don't want to be the person that maybe 5 years, 10 years down, or 50 years down, or has to now explain I was a kid, I was this, I was that. Because even if they want to do like an investigation on you, right? Let's go even further, like bad case scenario. They can go through your old numbers and phones and say, this day you took this video, you were here, you were here, you were here. You're not safe no more. And the talk we're talking about it being 1984, it's just gonna get worse.
We were talking about that, right? Just like
1984 is prevalent among us.
It's you know what's the best way to introduce change to a lot of people?
What is it?
Extremely slowly. You know why that works?
What?
Because no one pays attention to it. No one has the attention to pay attention to how boring it is, how boring the change is. So everyone moves on and everyone just moves with it.
Social media acts like an adolescence, right? Like for example, when you're mad and upset now, right? People who don't drink or don't smoke like weed or like they don't smoke cigarettes. What do? You go on Twitter or like Instagram or Facebook too.
That's your drug.
That is your drug. That is like, and for example, we have age limits on weed and we have age limits on, what do you call it, like alcohol. So I believe sometimes at this point, there should be an age limit on social media because you're being like attracted to, you're being like approached by certain accounts that could deteriorate your well-being. You see, for example, a celebrity like one of my favorite celebrities, Drake, for example, is like he's buying a Ferrari, right? So in your head, it's like, oh, that's life, and that's everything. But you don't know what it took for Drake to actually go buy a Ferrari. Social media is one phase. Reality is another phase.
Exactly.
Right?
I think it should be like there should be like guidelines for people to use social media.
Of course, there should be.
It just be like like always be aware, know what you're doing. Don't fall for like these fake videos you see. Just because you create a video doesn't mean that's the life you live.
Of course.
And I think a lot of it should come with like some type of like subtitles or something.
I agree with you because the reason why I believe when you first started this channel, I said I don't want to vlog because I don't want people following my personal life. My personal life is for me. Whatever they see from here, they can see all they want. But I'm not going to change on or off camera. I believe the most important value is to have social media. Don't get me wrong, social media is not bad if you use it for a great platform. You want to have an account, cool, but don't use that account to like make you you. That's the problem. I go on like certain meme accounts. I'm like, why are you allowing yourself to look dumb in front of like 7 billion people, right? Or 35 million people who are actually like users on like certain accounts. Now in your head, it's just like your family member can see you. It's like, this guy's stupid.
I have a point. But that's like the paradox, right? It's like you can get famous for that, and you can become rich.
A lot of people have become famous for that.
You can like stupidity is rewarded nowadays because of social media.
A lot of people have become so good, but I like what you said how slow changes works. Notice, for example, before. A perfect analogy, you were allowed to smoke in restaurants and airplanes, right? And then they said, okay, certain areas. After that, they said, you know what, no more smoking, no more. Slowly but surely, they got it out. I believe social media, it's not that the fact that it's bad, it's addictive. It's so addictive, it becomes like, if right now, like, if our phones are vibrating, we're filming right now. But technically, it's actually wrong to take out your phone and go search.
We all have the urge to pull it.
We have the urge to go, oh man, it's probably my girl, oh shoot, it's probably my boy, oh, my mom needs to be like, okay, that's a possibility. But unless it's an emergency, I feel like your phone should be relevant. And we can say that because we grew up with no technology. This generation is actually born into it. So all they know is like the iPhone, the Android, the Facebooks. I remember yesterday, 2 days ago when I was at work, a customer was talking to his, I think to his nephew about a PlayStation 1. Like when I was your age, that was my PlayStation 1. It drew me back and like, dude, PlayStation 1 to us, looking back, was sick.
Monumental.
Right? But now,
I didn't even have it.
No, what did you have? Like,
I had a GameCube.
GameCube, PlayStation 1, whatever you had, to you was like, this was cool. So in your mind, you envision cool things to become after that. Right now, it's impossible. Legit, it's impossible to know what's coming after because for us, maybe it's because we're older generation, we've seen everything that we want. But for this younger generation, they use this technology as a platform to deteriorate themselves to become a better person. We kind of almost occurred that.
Oh, the funny thing about social media, as much as we see it as a negative light, it's also positive,
of course,
right?
100%.
As far as mental health, the awareness for mental health, I remember back then watching certain programs like CNN
that boosted
and stuff.
That boosted it.
Anytime something happened to a person, it was always crime first, lock them up. It was never about the psychology of the person, what went behind their thinking process. As social media progressed, and as we shed new light on certain topics, we realized that with certain people, certain individuals, and certain toughness and darknesses they have to go through, by coming together as community, because everyone's one, by coming together as a community and understanding, we found out that mental health is something that needs to be talked about.
Of course.
And it's prevalent, especially in today's generation with kids. As much as kids are online today, they feel so isolated and lonely, which is crazy. It's unbelievable.
That's exactly why they do
Can you imagine having the world in the palm of your hand, and for some reason you feel so lonely because you don't have the Ferrari, you don't have the lights, you don't have the girls, you don't have the phones, you don't have the clout. It's insane.
See, social media, you know, for example, like, cool down, music started off to fight like drugs, school, talk about women, talk about things that actually matter, right? Not saying that a lot of them rappers do that right now. They just talk about their own life, whatever that music could be. Social media should be a platform to talk about positive facts.
Exactly.
Most said, go fight for like mental health. Like, go say, if you know a friend is suffering, you know you don't like them, go speak your mind about it. Be respectful of it, of course. But go say, hey, I don't like so and so.
Yeah.
Or I want to be great. Go follow your influencer. Gary Vee, they was asking like, why are you so positive? He's like, well, I'm not going to be skeptical, nor am I going to be pessimistic.
Yeah.
Right? I'm using this platform to allow other entrepreneurs, other influencers to grow. When I see, for example, this is how you know, for example, that you're on the right track. When you go on certain meme accounts, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at the disgusting, like childish acts that people do, you're like, why are you allowing yourself? First of all, you put yourself in a situation where now you can't get that deleted because they own that platform.
Exactly.
Right? Now, if, for example, when you own an iPhone or Android or like whatever you own, they own the videos that you store on these. So technically, they want to like post something, they own that content. You're giving a platform to own your content now. You can't delete that because that goes viral. They've won the battle. And now you look, you're a so-called celebrity, but now they all know they know you as like whatever so and so, like you like Ada or whatever the case might be. No, I'm being serious because if you think about it this way, we think like this the same way because social media wasn't huge in our time.
No.
So when we wanted to go get a porn across, we would go and protest. Now you can protest through social media. Social media, you can create businesses now. You see so many successful businesses that are being created through social media.
Like the smile, the smile thing that all the celebrities are going through, you know that?
Right? And like for example, Bell, when they talk about mental health, Bell's Talk, a huge platform that starts like around now until February. Things that actually
E.T. home phone.
So yeah, social media has been that voice that helps people who feel as if they don't have a voice to really voice out their opinions.
See, but companies and businesses are doing it like in a way that they have self-awareness and control,
of course,
and individuals aren't.
Yes,
and that it has to be both, right? So one of the ways that we can do this is by doing this, right? Talking about it and letting people know, like you're not exercising your self-control and you're not in the way, right? Yeah, anyone else? Anyone else? I don't know why I did that. don't know why.
That was a skip.
I was just like.
I do want to ask you guys a question though.
Yeah.
So we talked about how
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
I just can't believe I did that.
That's Jafari's for you.
Yep.
My question is for you guys. So we spoke about the positive impact of social media, right? And how powerful it can be. What platform would you use to send a message across for a cause you care about? And why would you use that platform?
Most popular platforms today are Twitter and Instagram.
So why would you use
Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Twitter is really popular because of just like words. Like words are extremely popular because of obviously that's the main component of Twitter, right? Hashtags, and then you choose your words wisely. Like it just spreads all across, and it affects celebrities, influencers, all people. It doesn't matter. Twitter has power. Instagram, same thing. Hashtags, photos. YouTube especially for like any type of video message you want to send.
Yeah.
So Alpha is Mo's brother. Check it out.
That's hilarious.
But what about you guys?
What about
So, I want to hear more.
As far as platforms, the funny thing about Twitter is I used to love Twitter when it first came out. Because I believe we were around like grade 10 or grade 11 when it first came out. So that was really a place where you actually got your thoughts out. And anything that you're going through, you could talk it out and just hear from certain people and their opinions, right? Really objective opinions. As Twitter progressed, obviously we knew how the president used it, become president of course, voiced on nasty opinions. And Twitter unfortunately developed into this groupthink mentality. So that's why it's really hard to really engage in a thoughtful conversation on Twitter. There are certain individuals that will have a peaceful conversation, but most of the time,
everyone's battling against each other.
If something happens, the first person to be like, this is the facts, 30 people believe what that person said.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, you know what, he's right.
Yeah.
No one fact checks the articles, no one fact checks the statements or anything. As soon as the first person, who's probably like from Montana or somewhere, just says like, oh, I believe it was this thing. 100 people are like, yeah, that guy's right, because he was the first person to respond.
Yeah.
So that's one of the dangers of social media. It doesn't matter which platform you use. It's certain individuals that have no credibility, no knowledge, no awareness of this certain topic. They're giving out these false, statements, and people believe it, right? So whatever platform I use, the point is, it doesn't matter the platform, it's all about the message, right? And me being the person conveying the message, I have to be honest, truthful, and integrity must be used at all times. So therefore, if I'm saying something, it's truthful, and the people I'm speaking to will understand it with clarity. That's it.
The reason why I asked that question is because exactly what you said. Trump is a prime example, right? How he used Twitter, and everybody saw, like, he said one thought, right? I'm not gonna talk about every thought, I'm just using an example. He said one thought. Notice how everybody else said, this is a problem, yeah. So it's a good thing, right? Good thing that you use on social media. Yeah. Because you could say one thing, and then people automatically think, you know what, that is a problem.
Yeah.
Why not speak on that right now? Mm-hmm. And I feel as if we actually, like right now with social media, we're not going that right direction. Because people keep following celebrities, they're not speaking their voice no more. Mm-hmm. Free speech has become groupthink, and groupthink is not necessarily bad. But if you're not speaking up for yourself, you're only always agreeing.
Of course.
You're falling victim to that person's thoughts. So like he says,
you're not an individual anymore.
You're not an individual. You're just a follower. You're not a leader no more.
It's unnecessary, and it's actually painful. And then in this era where negative light is as important as positive light, groupthink is one thing that's really haunting. It's actually a nightmare. That's why I had an iPhone 5 for the longest time, because you're on social media and you're following a person, a celebrity for the longest time, you slowly start to fall in love with them. So everything they do, it's like, what you do is amazing. It's so inspirational. Yeah. But as soon as they do something very negative, you bypass it, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Everyone deserves a second chance, which is true, but they could be a nasty individual and continue on doing those nasty lifestyles and those objectives, and people just keep following along for those stupid games. So that's why, like you said, you have to be your own individual. You have to know what's going on. You have to be aware that even though social media is something that could talk to millions of people around the world, you never know. One thing that you could say could ultimately go against you, and if that happens, you have to be strong. You have to have that self-will and determination.
Jarvis said something powerful. Words are really powerful. You don't know how powerful they can be once you say them, right?
Of course.
And for example, Twitter is a huge platform where right now it's all the right word. You can say, for example, like I like ice cream, for example, right? And
ice cream?
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
What flavor?
What flavor?
I like chocolate ice cream, right? Oh, you know what? I'll change it up. I'll make it more controversial, right?
Yeah.
I will never go to Air Canada ever again, right? So then it's just like, me, it may not be powerful coming from me, right?
Yeah.
But imagine if a celebrity on a high side says that.
Yeah.
Then everyone else
Exactly.
starts following.
Oh, boycott,
Right? Boycott this. They hurt this celebrity, right? And the reason, and you know, it's a great chance because when you think of our days in social media, think of 10 years ago when Facebook was really huge. Social media was not as powerful. Like when you want to get your point across, you weren't able to go on like Twitter or Facebook.
No.
Like our social media was like MSN, MySpace. Facebook was barely huge.
Yeah, I was starting out.
And even then, it didn't have that much.
It was mainly MySpace. MySpace was like the biggest thing during the mid 2000s.
In MSN, I'll be honest with you, like speaking of like bringing MSN in, it was for that day I find it was so cool, and it was like this legit, like it was the only time you would want to go on the internet and see your friends are on, you video chat, you joke around, you see your crush, like let me go talk to her.
But even then, we weren't that like obsessed with it.
No,
it was just like
because it was a time and a place. You knew like I'll be doing this for an hour or two, then I'll either go outside, watch TV, whatever. That wasn't the only objective. It wasn't like I did on MSN for like 6 hours. And I did not leave my laptop.
You always want to play outside. Like, look, I said this sitting when we were at the park. When it's cold outside, your creativity spurred. You're like, you know what? I gotta do something fun today, right? But when it's hot, you know you can do whatever you want because you know I can just walk around short and I'm cool.
Yeah. Especially in Canada.
It's in Canada because we have like 1,000 seasons in 1 month or 1 day. We're like, okay, it's -5. Like I gotta wear long johns, I gotta wear pants, gotta wear Timbs. I'm gonna go play some basketball. I'm cool. But you gotta prepare for the weather. In your mind, you're like, you know, even though it's cold, I want to prepare myself. Being prepared and having time for social media is actually two. Now I don't want to say top two, like in some chronological order, but I would say that you have to prepare yourself for what you're about to say, and what your response you're about to get. And time, you can't lose that back. You better make sure that what you tweet, what you post, that is a great value of your time.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, I don't know, like social media, I can imagine being 18, 19, 17 with social media because, like you're saying, because when we were in high school, it was only Facebook, that was the main thing. Twitter was like, Twitter's for like certain individuals like myself who really want to talk to certain people. It was only those two things.
Debate online.
Yeah, debate online and stuff. Like towards the end of high school, that's when like, it wasn't even memes, it was GIFs. Like remember, like everyone posted GIFs. But now, it's like, bro, you have Snapchat, you have Instagram, you have Facebook.
Memes have been there for a while.
All these things, Vine was huge. So like, I can only imagine what it's like for my younger brother to focus in school because there's so much things happening. There's so much things happening from music to industries to politics. It's non-stop. It's insane.
Our distractions were cool because like, I would like, if I didn't want to pay attention in class, and for all the people, this is just me as a kid, I'm letting you know, is I would start drawing.
We would all start doodling.
How does everything just doodle?
Which is because like, yo, I know like right now if I go on my phone and like search up on Instagram or like Twitter, and a lot of you are probably gonna say, oh, we're hypocrites. No, because we're not saying we don't go on social media. We're saying we don't spend as much time. Time added, time value added. You said something that's like about YouTube, like you go from one video to another video. Dude, sometimes I find myself on Instagram for so long, I'm like, why did I spend half an hour on Instagram? I'm like,
it's like, how can other kids be so attention stimulated to everything, right? It's just like
don't you get bored? Like I'll be playing on my PS4, like and I get bored in like half an hour.
Exactly. It's just a matter of like I'm doing the same activity regardless if there's something slightly different. It's just the same thing, right? Like if I'm on my PS4 and I just keep on playing different games, like well I'm still playing the game. I want to do something entirely different. Right?
So worse is when you have something to do, like you have an objective. It's like yo, I gotta do this by 9 o'clock. And it's like okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch a small video. And then it's a snowball effect. You start watching another video. By the time you realize it's 8:45, it's like, bro, I have 15 minutes to finish my assignment. And it's like, what happened? You're wondering what happened. Like, I don't know. You're so confused and stuff, right? But it's one of those illusions and one of those things that just cycles in that deteriorates you from your ultimate motive.
You know, the thing is too is a lot of people use social media. I mean, like we touched on it a bit. Is because of fake image, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of people use social media because they want to make themselves. And I saw this quote, and I'll get to it in a bit. Is they want to make themselves more nicer, more powerful on social media, or have more captivating.
They want to create the person they want to become in a shortcut through social media, right? They don't have if you do that, you internally believe that you can't do it in real life.
I agree with you.
And then you do it on social media. That is sad.
The quote that I read the other day, I remember I told this to Mo, was like, and it kind of hit home because I see a lot of people doing this, and I'll get to it. I'll tell you how this relates. The goal is not to dress rich, it's to be rich.
100%.
A lot of people will like be dressing Gucci belts.
Or any type of goal. To actually achieve the goal.
Because and the reason why I say this is because people will go on social media, you know what, get closer. They're like, OVO, Toronto, Adidas, sponsorship, right? But in reality, this is Osama, can you do this? I'm scared. They're shy.
Insecure.
Yeah. You're insecure behind, and there's nothing wrong with being an introvert or extrovert.
Yeah.
But you're not that person.
Develop yourself.
Yes.
Develop your skills. Develop your capabilities of doing something great.
And the thing is, you know what's funny about social media? It's like, Mo, what if I have iPhone 5? I'm not missing anything that's going on in the world. Yeah. It's like, okay, what did I miss? This celebrity had a crush on this celebrity. This celebrity fell down on his bike. Really? Like the celebrity fell down off his bike, and that's the biggest thing I missed. So the thing is, take baby steps. So take some time out. Are you right, camera person? Okay, we gotta make sure.
Okay, so for the record, I was not okay. Nah, I'm kidding. I was fine.
Take an hour each day. Take that time. Be like, what do I want to do in life? Write down your goals, write down your motivations, write down things that's actually preventing you, and see what you can do to balance it out and push yourself to that next level. Then eventually 2 hours, 3 hours, then take a day out or certain days out where you're not on social media, you're not using any platforms, you're not missing anything that's going on in the world. The only thing that you actually are missing is what you could potentially be. So use that time, focus, enhance your well-being, and help enhance your self-development. So I don't know, in a year or two, you could be doing this. You could be somewhere motivating yourself, being with like-minded individuals, and doing different ideas and different goals, and just pushing and elevating what you want the world to be like. Because this video right now, trust me, there's history behind him, and also myself. This is not the first thing we decided. This is not the first idea we decided to do. This is probably like the 50th idea, the 42nd idea, the 20th idea for him. But the point is, we never stop pushing. It's not like we did this 2 months ago. It's been in the works for over 7 months. So nothing happens in a day. But one thing that could happen in a day is faith, integrity, and hard work.
What platform are we using to do this?
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
And we're using these platforms to create change, not to be dumb on social media. And I'm not calling people, no, I'm just saying, if you want to create something powerful and great that people are going to remember,
meaningful,
of course.
Like, let me ask you guys a question. Name, for example, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali. If they had social media, how much more powerful would they be?
Oh my God, that's such a good question.
So the thing is,
Such a good
if they had social media wouldn't exist. That's why their voices were silenced.
Exactly.
In their expiry time.
Much more powerful.
So that's one of the paradoxes of social media today.
I can only imagine what Martin Luther King Jr. would be like on social media.
Imagine like guys like,
I got a tweet!
I think it'd be a bit corny. I think it'd be a bit corny, but it'd still be.
I sent the tweet.
It'd still be a huge amount of respect, yo. It'd still be amazing.
You know, Mo said something like that kind of resonated. He said, the three of us together, we've all went through a lot of stuff that allowed us to be here right now.
Yep.
Right? Whether it's personally, like doing school, business, like projects that didn't work out, but regardless of the fact, the three of us have one thing in common, is that's to make change and obviously make history. We want to be remembered that we did something that allowed people to remember who we are.
I want to say something. A lot of self-help professionals and top mental health professionals and gurus are saying is that a lot of kids who are going to come out of high school, university, and just going into the workforce, etc., 10, 20 years from now, the depression rates, suicide rates, and mental health rates are just going to skyrocket because people are going to realize, oh, I can't find a job, I can't do this, I can't achieve my goals, and it's precisely about the thing that we're talking about today, right? So in order to get yourself out of that group of people, which is just a fact, it's just truth, you need to work on yourself. You need to develop, you need to read books, you need to meditate, you need to read, I just said read twice, but exercise. You need to take care of yourself and grow, right? In the age of information where ironically everything is, people are stupid, people are stupid in the age of information. It's just we all need to start coming together and becoming more aware and becoming more, you know. Yo, what the hell are you doing? Yo, what the hell are you doing?
What?
This guy's pulling out his phone as I'm pulling.
Yo, listen to sick beam, bro. Check it out.
What are you saying? What do you think? We just spoke for like 30 minutes. Stop the video. Stop the video. Stop the video. It's done. It's done.